Something extraordinary is unfolding right now, and most people have no idea it's happening. For decades, scientists have scanned the skies not just for distant planets or faint radio signals, but for something stranger, something that breaks the rules, and the James Webb Space Telescope may have just found it. What started as a routine look at the third interstellar object ever spotted in our solar system, known as 3 Atlas, has spiraled into one of the most unsettling astronomical events in human history. Because Webb didn't just find a rock drifting through space, it found a light, a glow that shouldn't exist, a signature that follows no known laws of physics. And now the scientists studying it are asking a question that keeps them up at night. What is 3 Atlas really? 3 Atlas first appeared as a faint smudge near the edge of our solar system, moving on a path no local object could ever take. It was clearly from somewhere else, launched from deep interstellar space by some unknown force, now silently coasting through our cosmic backyard. At first, researchers treated it like its famous predecessors, Oumuamua and Borisov, odd but explainable. But something felt wrong from the very beginning. 3 Atlas was too bright, not in a dramatic, obvious way, in a deeply unsettling one. Its brightness didn't match its size, it didn't match its composition, and it didn't behave the way any normal comet should. But here's where things start to get truly strange. A typical comet brightens in bursts as sunlight vaporizes its ice and sends dust spraying outward. 3 Atlas did none of that. Its glow stayed perfectly, unnervingly steady, as though something inside it was keeping the lights on. Observatories around the world took notice, and Webb, with its ability to see deep into the infrared spectrum, was brought in to cut through the mystery. What it found didn't clear anything up. It made everything worse. Webb detected a heat signature radiating outward from the object's core, not reflected sunlight bouncing off dust and ice, but light being actively emitted from within. That's a fundamental difference. And when scientists mapped the thermal pattern, it didn't follow any natural distribution curve known to science. It pulsed, faintly, irregularly, but with a rhythm, a repeating cycle. And repetition in science doesn't mean coincidence, it means design. Researchers at NASA and the European Space Agency scrambled for alternative explanations: radioactive decay, internal friction, exotic isotopes. One by one, those theories crumbled. The only explanation left on the table was the one no one wanted to write down. This object might be powered. As data poured in from Webb, Hubble, and ground-based telescopes worldwide, a detailed picture of 3 Atlas began to form, and it looked like nothing in any scientific catalogue. Its trajectory was too deliberate for a chaotic wanderer, subtly threading through gravitational fields as though making choices. Its rotation was unnaturally stable, completely inconsistent with normal inertial drift. And even as it passed through zones of intense solar radiation, it showed no comet tail whatsoever, as if something was shielding it from the heat. Then came the finding that sent shockwaves through the astronomical community. Its surface reflectivity, its albedo, was nearly perfect in certain areas. Not the dull, irregular surface of rock or ice, but the mirror-like reflectivity of polished metal. Metal. The word spread fast, and so did the implication. If this object was metallic, structured, and emitting energy, then it wasn't a natural body. It was technology. Suddenly, words like probe and beacon were being whispered in hallways, not on conspiracy forums, in institutional emails, behind encrypted firewalls. But the most damning evidence hadn't even surfaced yet. Photometric. Analysis of the light from 3 Atlas revealed something that chilled researchers to the bone. The light wasn't a broad, natural reflection of sunlight scattered across a wide spectrum. It was a focused, narrow band emission, specific wavelengths, controlled and deliberate. That is precisely what we do with LED arrays, laser communication, systems and spacecraft signal beacons, and the frequencies involved. They overlapped with bands humans use for communication and guidance systems right here on Earth. More disturbing still, The light's intensity seemed to respond to incoming solar radiation in real time, as if some onboard system was adjusting. It flickered, not randomly, with a strange, intermittent pulse. Astronomers ran the data through every signal model they had. The results were inconclusive, but not meaningless. Some saw patterns resembling binary sequences. Others suggested a rotating power source, but one conclusion was unavoidable. This was not a passive object. It was doing something, and we were watching it live. A team of astrophysicists from MIT and Harvard took the electromagnetic data and applied Fourier transforms to strip away the noise and isolate any repeating patterns buried inside. What they found lurking beneath the static was extraordinary. A structured, repeating pulse, too precise, too consistent to be natural. It wasn't standard binary code. It didn't match any modulation humans use, but it carried the unmistakable fingerprint of intentional encoding. Some believed it was a beacon, a looping broadcast aimed not at us, but at someone else entirely. Others thought it might be telemetry, a continuous data stream reporting back to wherever this thing originated. And here's the part that made stomachs drop. The signal hadn't changed, not once, since Webb first detected it. As if 3 Atlas wasn't trying to reach us at all. It was already in contact with someone. And that someone may have already answered. News of the discovery moved quickly through the highest levels of science and defense. A confidential NASA report, later leaked to an unnamed journalist, revealed that top officials were already coordinating with international space agencies to assess whether 3 Atlas posed a threat. Some scientists argued for calm. Perhaps it was an ancient probe, centuries old, following a pre-programmed route through the galaxy. Others raised questions that had no comfortable answers. If it's transmitting, who is receiving? If it emits light, does it also carry propulsion? If it arrived here by design, why now and why us? The report raised one possibility that ignited panic behind closed doors. 3 Atlas might not simply be passing through, it might be watching, cataloging planetary alignments, electromagnetic activity, signs of advanced civilization. And, if that was true, then it may not have come alone. Further study of its luminosity led researchers to a startling new hypothesis. 3 Atlas wasn't just emitting energy, it was harvesting it. The way its light output shifted in relation to its distance from the Sun, combined with the complete absence of any chemical reaction on its surface, pointed toward a solar collection or photonic absorption system embedded beneath its outer layer. Some theorists proposed that the dust cloud surrounding it served a dual purpose, camouflage to mask its artificial structure and a medium for absorbing solar energy. If accurate, this would make 3 Atlas a self-sustaining craft designed to travel indefinitely, refueling itself star by star, lying dormant for centuries and waking only when it detects something worth investigating. If our solar system triggered that activation, the message was already sent, long before we noticed the light. One truth became increasingly clear as agencies scrambled for answers. We are not ready. No official statements were made, but leaked. Internal documents from agencies in France, Japan, and Brazil all pointed toward the same conclusion. This object might not be an anomaly. It might be a first encounter, in slow motion. No landing, no drama, no Hollywood moment. Just data, light, and silence. Webb continued watching every day, and every answer it found seemed to open 2 new questions. If this was contact, it was happening entirely on their terms, quiet, patient, distant. And that might be the most unsettling part of all, because what we were witnessing may not have been an invitation. It may have been a survey, and we may have already been catalogued, then something no one expected. Just as 3 Atlas appeared to settle into a predictable path, its brightness exploded. A sudden flare captured live by Webb and confirmed by multiple ground-based observatories increased the object's luminosity by nearly 40% in under 2 minutes. Then it stabilized at a new, elevated level. There was no solar wind event to blame, no collision, No fragmentation, no natural explanation fit. It was as if a switch had been flipped, and the flare didn't arrive alone. It came packaged, with a dramatic shift in thermal signature, as though internal systems had just powered on. Some theorists proposed the object had entered an awakened state, triggered either by the sun's proximity or by something else entirely. Our own observation of it. And if the flare was intentional, then it was meant to be seen. Shortly after, something even more alarming emerged from orbital calculations. 3 Atlas had deviated from its projected path, subtly but measurably. Gravity alone couldn't account for it. Solar radiation pressure couldn't explain it. The shift was deliberate, and the new trajectory pointed deeper into the solar system with an adjusted inclination that brought it closer to the orbital plane of Earth. It had effectively changed lanes. Scientists urging caution called it a gravitational anomaly. Others called it what it looked like, a maneuver, a course correction, something no comet or asteroid had ever done.